Welcome back to another Sunday walk video. It's nice right now. Nice cool breeze. Altcoin season is here. So let's talk about this coming week. Let's talk about if it's time to declare altcoin season and which projects or which niches are doing really hot right now. All right, let's start out with what's going to happen this week. You know what? We haven't had like a really non-eventful week so far for a long time, like months upon months. And this week may be the first week in a while that we get no big news. At least not in the U.S. I was looking at it. We got a couple economic data, but like no Fed minutes, no FOMC. There's like not a whole lot of stuff. I do believe there is a PCE inflation reading on Friday, but outside of that, nothing huge that should move markets during the week. Tariff stuff. I mean, there hasn't been more news. The deadline is still not. This is not the final week for the deadline. So, and we haven't heard anything escalating in terms of the wars or anything. So overall, I think it should be a pretty non-eventful week, which of course is good. Why not, right? Over in Europe, I do believe there's an ECB decision whether or not they're going to cut rates. There's an inflation reading, I think, for UK, and that's about it. I don't know if those are going to move markets or not. But if the ECB decides to cut, they've been cutting already. If they decide to cut more, that's going to put more pressure on Powell to cut. Literally everyone on the planet wants him to cut. Even people outside the U.S. want him to cut, and everyone in the U.S. wants him to cut. No one wants to get him fired, but everyone wants him to cut the Fed fund rate. And it's hard not to, I should say, when countries around the world, they're all doing it, right? And Trump is on his back. So we'll see if that actually has anything to do with anything. Last week, markets were mixed. Overall good. I believe S&P 500 and NASDAQ, either last week or the week before, broke a new all-time high. But we had a couple red days last week. But overall, crypto-related stocks kept on going up, just every day, slow ticking, just like Bitcoin, slow ticking, and others, like a lot of alts, have been slow ticking upwards. In fact, they have escalated. This past week, we saw some huge movements with the likes of XRP, with Ethereum, with a lot of random ones, DeFi projects, memes, a lot of L1s, just everything. Everything has come back to life. So the second thing I want to talk about is altcoin season truly here? Should we declare it? That's been my thing for this past week. Like, is it too early to declare? Too early to declare? My thesis for altcoin season or how it's going to get started may be wrong. My original thesis earlier this year and last year, I said, hey, I think Bitcoin's going to lead the way. That's not going to stop, right? Traditionally, in previous cycles, Bitcoin finds the top, the money flows out, and that's how everything goes up. But this time around, since institutions are leading the way and buying up all the Bitcoin, they're not really going to, sell off their Bitcoin and put into memes, right? So my thesis was altcoin season will be led actually by memes. Meme will get really hot, and then chains they reside on will get really hot. So money flows from one meme to another, to chains, into stuff like that. So my original thesis was this time around retail, they're going to be very focused on memes, and that's how altcoin season will start. And obviously that can only happen if Bitcoin continues to keep going up. But now there may be a new catalyst. In fact, this catalyst is looking more and more credible. For some reason, it's happening, but hey, this could be it. What's that catalyst? Institutions. Once again, institutions been FOMOing into Bitcoin for the past year. Now, they're starting to do that with Ethereum. Ethereum ETF inflow this past week, billions all of a sudden. It was really low, like maybe 100 million, if not even that per week, turned into billions last week. So obviously, that's a lot of money. That definitely had a lot to do with Ethereum going higher. I think a lot had to do with the Genius bill passing and even the prospect of it passing. And I do think because of Ethereum pumping, then you saw a lot of dApps, Uniswap pumped, Lido pumped. You got like Ethnia, which pumped hard. They're in the stablecoin game, but a synthetic stablecoin, but mostly on top of Ethereum. And others, memes on Ethereum, Floki pumped, Pepe pumped, Sheeb pumped. So like anything relating to Ethereum started pumping because retail came back in, started speculating, started DCing hard because ETH started going. So my point is, my thesis may be wrong. It's not memes that'll lead altcoin season. It's the institutions again. And the kicker is a lot of the other L1s started pumping because of the prospects of their ETFs getting approved in October. For example, XRP. That's why I had a really good week. Solana had a good week. They're going to get one. AVAX, SUI, Cardano. They all have pending ETFs. And the SEC may approve all of them in October. So if institutions are going to be leading altcoin season, this is going to be fantastic for these L1s. If the institutions are buying billions of Ethereum per week, think about it if they start doing that with all these alts. And then you go get ETFs, they're bucket ETFs. Like Trump Media is trying to pass one or get one approved with Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I'm sure like Grayscale and BlackRock and others will start like focusing on bundled ETFs. They're already focusing on staking ETFs. And then imagine bundle staking together. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild. So just like the last 2 years, Bitcoin started really moving upwards in October. It happened in 2023. Happened in 2024. It looks like the timing is perfect. It may happen again in 2025 when Bitcoin and everything else starts really skyrocketing. I still feel like we have this one more push. You know, we're still like mid-July going into August. I feel like we still have this one last push for Bitcoin to hit this next leg. It's kind of stuck under 122 right now, 120. But I feel like we got just a little more to go to push ourselves up to 130 to 140. And then we might stay there for a while, especially if alts get hot. And they are. And altcoin season may be here. Bitcoin dominance have been going down quite a lot. I've been looking at the chart. It's just like a nosedive down. And it all started last week because Ethereum dominance started going upwards. And same thing with all the others pumping afterwards. So I think this week we could call it. We haven't seen any real huge volatility. We saw a dip last week where Bitcoin dipped to 116, but quickly recovered, and alts certainly didn't move. So let's see what happens this week. with a non-eventful week, if we continue to see alts gain strength because institutions are buying them, then I think it's time to declare it's altcoin season. Okay, and so many of you guys have been asking me about altcoin season. When did it start? When did it start? When did it start? Last week, I would say it started. But we need a little more time. We need a little more confirmation, and I think we'll get it this week. If we see, let's say, Ethereum pump above 4,000, and Solana pump above 200, and XRP pump above $4, like these previous January, February levels, if we can see them get back to those levels, then it's time to declare it's the start of altcoin season, right? So, yeah. So, I mean, the other thing I want to talk about is niches, right? I think right now you gotta concentrate hardcore into the L1s that are going to get their ETFs. That's pretty obvious. The big cats have been covering. I think, yeah, I'm still getting bit left and right here. I just killed a ton of mosquitoes. I think they're going to get huge momentum leading up to approvals and after approvals, so you don't want to miss out. Also, on top of those chains, you got to focus on like the biggest DeFi projects, like the biggest DEXs, lending providers, pools. Like if you focus on those within those chains, I think they will do very well. Kind of like what's happening with ETH right now. And obviously within the ETH ecosystem, again, you concentrate on like the DeFi stuff. I mentioned some already, like Lido and Uniswap and Ethnia and others. I think they're going to do really well. But outside of DeFi, you know, AI, DePIN, memes, gaming, I think they're slowly go rotate. Money's going to go into them one after another. Gaming is still really weak, so I don't know about gaming, but memes definitely will pick up. I think DeFi, DePIN, and AI, they will pick up. AI is not going to go away. ChatGPT continues to get stronger. Grok gets stronger. They all get upgraded. So I think the narrative with AI is not going to go away. And a lot of DePIN projects are like half-half. They're like half AI, half DePIN. So I think they're going to do well, but you just got to give them time. I think DeFi is going to lead the way first. All right, outside of that, I don't think there's really anything else. Boot camp is starting tomorrow, right? I don't know the exact time yet, but we'll be starting tomorrow, and we got over 900 people. That's right, 900 people signed up. I don't know if we could even host that many. We're trying to figure out a Zooming solution or Google Meet solution that can get up to 1,000 people. That's gonna be kind of hard. So I guess we'll see if it works out. If not, we're gonna have to move a lot of people to next month. So we will see. Oh, by the way, I'm looking for a private investigator or a good lawyer or both that's within the California region. So here's why. Totally separate, but related to crypto. Maybe it's my fault. I ordered a bike because my kid wants to get an electric dirt bike. So I was looking around, and this company called Talaria came up. A lot of people have Talaria XXX. It's supposed to be like a pretty good starter bike. So I was looking around. This company's from China, but I guess they have a lot of dealers or distributors in the US. So I found one called Talaria USA. The site looks legit, has all the models and everything. And they have a 20% discount, which sounded good. And then I saw that they also have a crypto discount, another 15% on top of that. So this, for like, you know, like a $3,500 bike ended up being like $1,800. Speaking to the guy over the email, made a payment, and I got a tracking number, I got a shipping thing. So seems like it's all legit. The shipping company that they use in Santa Monica, I believe, says that there's a shipping hold because they want me to pay $1,000 as insurance, giving some bogus reasons like, oh, the bike may burn up or it gets stolen, all these things that their insurance should cover, but they want me to cover it. So it sounds very suspicious to me. The company, Talaria, has no physical address, no phone number that works. It just goes straight to voicemail. So basically I was telling them to get this resolved, and they're like, oh, go ahead and pay it. You know, they don't refund you, because the thing is, the insurance hold was like $1,000. And then they said after it ships, they'll give me $900 back, which the difference is $100. So why not just ask for $100 to begin with, right? So this Talaria company says, yeah, go ahead and pay it. We'll refund you if they don't. I'm like, no. You fool me once, you're not gonna fool me twice. So I started researching on Reddit and others, and a lot of people say that this company, Talaria USA, is a scam, and they basically put out really cheap prices, ask for you to pay with crypto and wire transfer, and then they ask you to pay for more insurance. So I think the two companies are working together. But the thing is, even though this Talaria USA may not have a working number or address, the shipping company that they gave me does. You could actually find them on Google, and they have a listed address, but their phone number is bogus. No one picks up. They listed some kind of dot number, which is, I think, their transportation numbers, and it's gone. I found out who their CEO is, and you know, I've given a call, left him voicemails, emails, tried to reach out to him on LinkedIn, zero response. And this company, the shipping company, does not answer anymore. So, you know, even though it's probably gonna cost me more than $1,800 to get a private investigator to investigate this, or to even get a lawyer to get involved, I may do it just out of spite, because I don't want to see them do it again to someone else, and to just shut down this whole thing. So it's quite complicated. I'm gonna put some of the info. I tweeted this out before, but I know a lot of you guys don't follow me on Twitter, and a lot of people on Twitter just say, oh, you know, just cut your losses, you're kind of stupid, you know, for doing this, right? Just move on. I don't know if I want to move on. I don't. I feel like I need to pursue this. So anyways, if you guys know, I'll put some of the information I put on Twitter in the description also. So if you guys want to help, you want to help me investigate, or you know some good people that can help me resolve this one way or another, then reach out to me. Reach out to me. I appreciate it. I'll put everything in the description so you guys could check it out. All right. That's the last thing. All right. Smash it a like, subscribe to the channel. Take care. Bye-bye.